The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 23. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of outstanding women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out amazing blog articles and our killer resources. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a special guest. This woman, I've always looked up to her ever since from the first time I met her in Austin, Texas, right? She shared her story on stage and what she's gone through. And, a lot of people, they always see the story, the glory of success, but they never hear the story. And if you ever heard her story on Austin, maybe on her own podcast, she went through hell and back to get where she is today. And, I'm just honored that she was able to take the time and do this interview. So, she's an internet entrepreneur and mommypreneur, and her name is Nicole Cooper, and she is now in Austin, Texas. So, Nicole, how are you doing today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more with the audience.
Oh, absolutely. I am doing great, Sheena. Thanks for having me on. Essentially, I tell people I'm here to be a people builder, to show people how to truly manifest their goals and their dreams, leveraging the internet and leveraging home-based business. And so my goal is to show as many people how to make high 5 and 6-figure incomes by using businesses to impact and influence other people's lives. So that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I just have some questions for you. What's your cultural background?
My family is from Central America. As a matter of fact, as we speak, I'm headed there tomorrow. We're from Belize. So we are Belizean and Guatemalan. So that's a smorgasbord of African, Latino, French. It's a combo of all kind of things mixed up in this little country in Belize. And so my mother is from Belize. My grandmother is from Central America. And my father's side is all Belizean as well.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I didn't even know you had a mix of different races, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a first generation American. So
nice. So Nicole, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote. That's a great question. One of my favorite quotes, honestly, is a scripture, but it says, "I know the plans that I have for you, plans to give you a future and a hope and not of evil." And that just simply means that there's a plan for your life. So no matter how bad things are looking, that there's always an opportunity for things to fall in alignment with God's plan for your life.
I agree with that because, we're all here for a reason, right? We're all here for a purpose. And some people might not have found that purpose yet, or they don't think they have one. And sometimes, they just need to hear stories from other people knowing that, you do have a purpose, you do have a destiny to be on this earth, to do something great. So thanks for sharing that amazing quote. And in your own words, what would be your definition of self-confidence?
Self-confidence is loving yourself enough to know that you can love your flaws and all, that you're not going to be perfect, but you're perfectly imperfect. It's a journey that we walk on to truly look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. I love everything about you, and I receive who you are in your journey to growth. And so self-confidence is just learning to love you.
Thank you. And it's funny, right? We all strive for perfection. It's something that, it's not even attainable, right? Because there's no such thing as perfection. For me, it's just progression. And so many women, maybe they see the covers of the magazines or they see people on TV and they think, oh, they're so perfect. But they don't see that, especially in magazines, they alter so many things to make someone look so perfect. To anyone out there, you're perfect just the way you are, right? There's reasons why you are who you are, right? Because you're beautiful inside and out. So thanks for sharing that, Nicole. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
It was searching for it. It's one of those things where you are worth more than how you feel. So it was a search. I've always been a curious kid to know, why am I on this earth? So mine has always been a search for what that looks like. I remember having friends who can sing and they were talented. And I was like, what is my talent? What is my gift? What am I good at? What is my strengths? And it was to me, it was more searching to get clear about who I was. So it was kind of an exciting little journey. I remember a lot of those little parts of the journey, age 11, age 13. I was crazy kid at times because I didn't know who I was, but I always believed that eventually I would become somebody amazing. I just didn't know what it looked like.
Wow. Thank you for that. So in your search, what was that aha moment when you realized, you found what you were looking for, you found that self-confidence, you knew you had certain talents that you could, contribute to the world and make a difference?
I was with some friends, and they were going. One of the guys worked at a youth facility, a youth detention facility. It was like a kids juvenile prison, and he asked me. They invited me to come, and I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I was a troubled youth, so I can identify with those kids, and so I went along with them, and I was really excited to see what was going to happen. And he got in front of the room and he began to introduce a speaker. And as he started introducing the speaker, I was like, I wonder who this person is. And lo and behold, it was me. He invited me and randomly put me in the front of the room. And I was like, what do I talk about? He was like, just share your story. And it was that day where I shared my story and had a chance to really, kind of touch the hearts of the kids. And I was like, wow, there's something here. And he came back and he was like, the kids can't stop talking about you and what you did for them. And I was like, really? And that was the encounter that actually made me realize I have a purpose on this earth to really touch and impact people.
I can relate to those kids too, because every time I hear you on an audio or hear you on stage, like I can just listen to you for hours, because you just have an amazing story and you just have, so much wisdom and advice that you can give to people. And I can see why those kids can, get excited once you were on stage. So what's your life like right now, after that realization that once you were on stage, the kids loved what you had to say. They knew that, you started realizing you do have a voice in this world.
It's all falling in alignment. It's those kids on an adult level, right? It's touching the hearts of the people, meeting the needs of the people. I mean, it's so many opportunities are coming my way now to the point where globally I'm working with people and really getting a chance to connect and speak hope, but help people to develop the skill set that helps to groom that confidence. I think a lot of times, many of us are aimlessly wondering because we're not attached or committed to something. And so being an entrepreneur, being in home-based business, where this is an industry that requires discipline, commitment, consistency, tenacity, persistence. I mean, it's just so many different characteristics that you have to develop in this industry that it helps me to get people to realize what they have to do to sustain and to commit to doing something long enough to get the end result where they don't live their lives as quitters. And so that's kind of my role in what I do as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as a trainer, and a mentor is really helping people to understand how to stick something out long enough to get the end result. Because confidence comes from results. So if you live your life just trying this, trying that, trying this, but never seeing anything through, you'll always feel incomplete because your life has been a realm of starting something that never got finished. So it's helping people to develop something and begin to complete things.
I like that because it's so true. There's some people out there who just go from deal to deal to deal. And I always believe anything you do is everything you do. So people are watching you as well. When they see you're sticking to one vision, one story, aligned yourself with a certain thing, that's when the results start to show up. So thanks for sharing that. And Nicole, for the woman who's listening to this podcast, listening to your story, to your interview, if she's in her own journey of self-confidence, what would be that one tip you would give to her?
Well, it's not just one tip. It's a regimen. I think so many of us, I was sharing today, I did a call and I said, you have two types of time in your life. You have self-defining time and you have, I forgot the other one, but it's a life where you're always, every moment, like you're living life. You have life-defining moments and life moments. I don't know. I forgot how it's worded. But in other words, you have those big shebangs in your life that are big celebrations. Your wedding, if you're an athlete, that moment at the end of the game where you scored the winning shot. You have those life-defining moments. But then you have the rest of your life, right? And most of us spend the rest of our life looking for the life-defining moment, and we miss our entire life. And so I would say, you know what? Stop, slow down, look around you and begin to identify how you can serve where you are. You have a neighbor that's probably lonely or elderly and can't mow their lawn. You have children who might be a child of a single parent who needs somebody else to step in and be a vessel in their life. You have people around you who need you right where you are. If you take the focus off of you and start investing it in other people, guess what? Your confidence will be boosted because you'll see that you can serve and help change someone else's life. And all of a sudden, what you give out, you'll get back. You'll begin to receive joy. You'll begin to receive, such a great level of fulfillment that it won't even be an issue about you anymore. So I would say take your eyes off of you and worrying about you and pay attention to what's around you and see how you can meet a need where you're at.
Wow, I love that advice. Just, being a go-giver, pretty much, right? Just
Yes.
serving others. And it does come back to you tenfold, right? I always believe in that. So thanks for that awesome advice. And Nicole, if the listeners wanted to connect with you more, is there a website we can go to, or maybe any social media platforms we can connect with?
Yeah, I have on Instagram and Periscope and Facebook. Everything is Nicole S. Cooper, Nicole, S as in Sam, and Cooper, Cooper. And my website is the same, NicoleSCooper.com.
Awesome. Thanks for that. And to the listeners, just head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Nicole's name. Her show notes will pop up and everything else that we talked about in today's episode. And I just want to really thank Nicole for taking the time to share her story on self-confidence. I know she's a busy mama. So thank you again, Nicole.
No problem. Glad to be here. And I also say check out my podcast, Bold, Unapologetic Success Podcast for Entrepreneurs.
Nice. That will also be on the website. And tune in for another episode of another amazing woman's story to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you for connecting with us on the Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit thetaoofselfconfidence.com for links to everything we chatted about, as well as killer resources, gifts, and so much more.